Hey, this is Mike and Tom with the Muscle and Speed podcast. We're here to talk about our favorite car movies, TV shows, music, and workouts, wheeling, whatever else comes to our mind. We're going to be posting these up once a week. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at Muscle and Speed. We also have a website, www.muscleandspeed.com, where we'll eventually be selling some merch. Our goal here is to share our passion for all these things with the people who feel the same way. All right, we're back, man.
How you doing?
I'm doing. I said that to someone today. Someone asked me that same question, and I just said I'm doing. They laughed too.
Yeah. Have a day.
Yeah. I'm having a day. I think telling people to have a day is a good thing. I'm going to be presumptuous.
Yep.
I'm enjoying my Gas Monkey tequila. Because why not?
Because you can.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, one of these times we'll get Will, we'll get Kyle. We can add anybody this way. And it doesn't matter if you're here. So we can do it. And if you have a conference mic, that means we could do it at your house too.
Yeah, I do. I just found one.
Oh, man. So the only thing that's really... Well, two things happened, didn't they, since the last time? It's been 2 weeks since you were on, but... The Challenger got traded off.
Yep.
How about them apples, man?
Ugh.
It'll hurt next summer. It's fine now.
Yeah. That's what it is, too. It's the long, dark winter that let you do that.
Yeah, it is. Next summer it'll be a little sad, but... You know, it was a cool car, but... This makes a lot more sense in the long run.
Yep.
Especially if we end up going after that house, which is the key. But who knows? Yeah, man. The Challenger got traded for a Dodge Durango RT.
It's got a Hemi.
It does have a Hemi, so that's something.
Yep.
It's not nothing. It's something. Yeah, I don't know. It can tow the camper. It can go on long trips.
Yep, nice vehicle.
I could put Flowmasters on it. It's nothing like a minivan that sounds like a hot rod.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't I? Oh, I will. Or you could just, you know, cut the mufflers out and run straight pipe right out the back.
There you go.
An obnoxious minivan. Yeah, what the heck, hey? And I tried to quit the gym twice, I think, in the past 2 weeks. Because I've been...
We can't. We just can't. How about them lens?
Yeah. So, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. It was good. Good food.
Was that the first time in 20 years we didn't have Thanksgiving together?
It was.
It was. So it was weird.
Yep.
I don't mind saying it.
Huh.
It was weird. And the Lions sucked.
Yep.
You know, there's a lot of people that were speculating that they should have won that game. And my thought on that is you have a mediocre Lions team to begin with. Sorry, it's the truth. You have a mediocre Lions team to begin with whose offensive line gave up 16 sacks in 2 weeks, facing the best defense in the NFL or one of the best. And now you don't have Golden Tate. and Kerryon Johnson's hurt, and Marvin Jones is hurt. Who really thought they were going to win that game? Like, for real?
Yeah,
I mean,
was not happening.
no. I mean, I guess the bad part is, I watched the recap, and Stafford made obviously two really poor passes that were interceptions, and they lost the game. And that is on him, of course. But I guess the shock would have been had they won, in my mind. And they didn't. So I wasn't shocked.
Yeah, the Bears looked pretty good
Yeah, I mean, they were without Trubisky.
without their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Their defense.
Yeah, that's what's winning football games for them. I mean, Trubisky's playing well, but that has a lot to do with knowing that your defense isn't going to give up very many points.
Yeah.
And they might even score some.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I guess at some point you do have to start to wonder, like, is Stafford going to lose faith in this team? Is he going to get tired of getting hit in the mouth every other time he drops back?
Retire like Barry?
Not necessarily retire like Barry, but maybe the quality of play is going to go away.
Maybe he'll go away.
Or maybe he'll go away. And maybe they'll trade him.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the front office gave up on this season when they traded Golden Tate. That's my thought. Because how do you expect anything out of that offense without him? Anything real?
Yeah, they ain't doing shit.
He's one of the best wide receivers in the league. I mean, I'm sure they didn't expect Marvin Jones to get hurt. But you notice when Golden Tate went down, those 2 games after, Marvin Jones didn't do anything. Is that because Golden Tate wasn't pulling defenders, and so he was facing a lot of double teams? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Golden Tate, he got a lot of attention from defensive backs. So with him gone, it's really going to magnify in other areas.
Right. And then you have a young guy in Kenny Galladay. Then Marvin Jones goes down. How good is he going to do now that he has 100% of everybody's attention? I mean, he has the physical skills to still be dominant, but I think he's going to have a tough time. How's Myrtle?
She's doing good.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah, I guess, and I told you this when the season started, to me it looked like a 4-12 season.
You said that too.
They have one of the toughest schedules in the NFL, and they're not ready for that yet. Healthy, they weren't ready for that yet. And so, it's funny because, of course, you're getting the normal, it's time to get rid of Stafford. Maybe it is. Who knows? I don't know how he feels about the team anymore.
Right.
To me, some of those plays could be him having had enough of the Detroit Lions.
Uh-huh.
And you have to be wary of that, because if he's lost the desire to play here, things don't get better from here. They get worse. A lot worse.
Yep.
Because he's maybe the lone bright spot on this team now that Golden Tate is gone. Well, Kerryon's really good. I really do think that.
Good.
He surprised me with how good he actually is.
There's potential there.
Yeah. But, if you want to see this team really tank, get rid of Matt Stafford and get us a quality of a John Kitna again. then you'll see suck. So, yeah, I don't know. And, I didn't have any faith in them beating the Bears. I really didn't. I did coming into the season because I didn't think Trubisky was that good, and I didn't know they were going to pick up Khalil Mack, and he was going to be the best defensive player in the NFL.
Yeah.
But that's what happened.
That's what other teams do.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I think they'll probably. I don't want to say probably, but they should beat Buffalo and the Cardinals. And honestly, Green Bay is so bad right now, they could beat them at the end of the season too. So they might finish with 7 wins. How about that 7-9? That's our moonshot, man. That's as good as it can get. Because they're gonna get killed by everybody else. Because they have the Vikings, the Rams, and they're gonna lose both of those games for sure.
Yes, they are.
And it could be ugly.
Yeah, those are teams that are playing with something and for something.
Right. So let's just keep walking down that line. So then Detroit gets their butts kicked, but I'm still hopeful for something. Because
Don't say
Michigan was
draft
ranked fourth. I was thinking, well, Saturday, I'm going to get to sit down and watch Michigan kick Ohio State's ass. And then what happened?
It was bad right first series. You could just see it. It just
though?
didn't look good right from the get go.
It doesn't make sense, though. It really doesn't. How in the hell did that happen?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. I want to get it, but I don't get it. They were supposedly the best defense in college football. And I'm not sold on Michigan's quarterback. I've said that. I don't think, what's his name, Prescott? I don't think he's that good. I really don't. And he didn't look that good against Ohio State.
All right.
But their running game is fantastic, and that's what I thought would redeem all of that. And it didn't. Because Ohio State decided they're just going to stack the box and stop the run and see what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
What did they score? 39 points? It's not like they didn't score points, but everybody's been scoring on Ohio State this year, so that's not impressive.
Right.
Maryland scored more than that. What was it, 54-51 or something like that? It's just not good. No, it was bad.
They abused Michigan's defense backs bad, those crossing routes.
Yep.
Just abused them.
And they couldn't do nothing about it.
No.
And the pass rush wasn't there. I mean, this is a team that held Michigan State to 94 offensive yards.
Yeah.
How in the hell does Ohio State just destroy you like that? In the rain.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it doesn't matter because they did. So, yeah, I sat there on the couch in the den by myself, eating pretzels, drinking beer, and watching Michigan get killed.
Yeah.
That was Saturday.
I should have come over.
You should have. It was horrible. So then Sunday, the bright spot occurred. Minnesota beat Green Bay. Yeah, it was 24-17.
Yep.
And someone said Aaron Rodgers was like missing throws and blaming it on the receivers, and he did not look good. So I don't know.
Well, they traded a lot of his good help too.
They did, and they got some key injuries.
Actually, they cut some of his good help.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. They cut some of his good help, and they've had some key injuries, and it's showing.
Yeah.
There's only so much anybody can do, and Aaron Rodgers, don't get me wrong, is still, in my opinion, the best. But then I saw that stat we talked about last night at the gym.
Fourth quarter comebacks.
Against winning teams, 0-37 for his career. And that's an interesting stat because Tom Brady is a little different than that.
Mm-hmm.
He's got some pretty famous comebacks against big-time teams in the fourth quarter. That's, and honestly, Stafford doesn't have a lot of wins against winning teams, but he does have some fourth quarter comebacks against winning teams.
Exactly.
That is something that he's done. So, I don't know. That's interesting. It's interesting in that who's better debate to be able to throw those numbers out there. And Will and I were talking about the other quarterback in this conversation, or should be in this conversation, is Drew Brees. Look at his career. The guy's amazing.
Yep.
I mean, he's old too, and he's the front runner for MVP.
Yeah.
That's impressive. And he's not, honestly, he's not someone I really think about either when we're talking about that stuff. But he's been around a long time playing at a very high level, and he's won a Super Bowl. So, I don't know.
Yeah, that guy, they've always had a good offense with him.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they don't play this Sunday, but the following Sunday they play the Rams. I think. And I think Will and my dad are going to that game.
Oh, really? Good for them.
Yeah. I told Will, I'm like, you picked a hell of a game to go to. That's going to be tough.
Ball team.
Well, you get to see Sue. Yeah, haven't seen Sue in a long time in Detroit. He sucks. I don't like him.
He's dirty.
He is dirty. You know what was tough as a Lions fan when he did? We're sitting there watching that. Was it a Thanksgiving Day game when he backed up and then stomped on Aaron Rodgers' arm? And you could see him look down.
Yeah, step on
where
it.
It was, and then step on it.
Yeah.
Oh God, couldn't defend him after that. It was right on TV. You've seen him do it. I don't know, man. It's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a lot of hope in football. I mean, Ohio State was ranked 10th. They were 10-1 coming into that game. Michigan's probably going to drop into that 8-9 spot.
Yeah.
They're still going to get a really good bowl game, and they're still a good team. It's just they had lost 6 in a row to Ohio State, and I really did think they were going to beat them this year. That was pretty disappointing. But they hadn't beat them in Ohio State since 2000.
Oh.
So that's
what was the record last year?
8 and something.
Michigan.
Yeah, they were 8-5, I think.
Okay. I guess I could have looked that up. Proved this year.
Yeah, they're miles better than they were. So, Will, you're joining us.
Yes.
Good man.
So tell me the truth, Will. How'd you like that Lions game? We were just talking about it.
It was pitiful. I compared it to the Jets game. It was comparative just because they were starting a backup quarterback who hasn't played, for years. There's no way. I think Slay's still injured. I think that's why he's given up so much. But I think he's just playing because he knows that he's all we got.
His backups are not good.
No. Well, Glover Quinn is done, I think. I think he's pretty much done. He hasn't made a play all year.
He was getting old when he got here. He gave us good years.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know. Tommy and I were just talking. I still think a big part of it is the losing Golden Tate.
Yeah, that was huge.
And even with him, I'm not so sure Detroit would have beaten Chicago. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't. And now that Marvin Jones is on IR, now what?
Right.
Yep.
Now what do we do? And I don't know when Kerryon Johnson, but just feel bad for me, all right? This weekend, I'm going to try and have fun best I can.
I told him you're going to go watch
Going all the
the
way
Rams.
to watch him. Rams.
I think Stafford and Aaron Donald are going to become close personal friends.
Well, I still can see a good football team.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's. you get to see Todd Gurley and Dominican Sue. I always wanted to see him play. Love the way that dude plays football. He's like a Ray Nitschke or Mean Joe Green. He's
Between
like old school. He'll stomp your head.
Yeah.
Between the whistles, I like watching him play football too. It's when the quarterback's on the ground behind him, he looks kind of down and back, and then steps on him.
Yeah.
And then goes, "What? What?
I
I didn't even know he was there. I didn't even feel it." It's like, oh God.
Yeah, it's pretty painful this year, considering the previous 4 years.
Yeah.
It was. People can say what they want to, but I'd rather see us go 9-7 and not make the playoffs than see us go 4-12 or whatever.
4-12 was my prediction coming into the season, but now I think, honestly, I do think they're going to they're likely to beat Buffalo and Arizona.
Maybe.
And they even might beat Green Bay at the end of the year. Green Bay's lost a lot of people, and they're not looking good.
No.
Neither is Detroit, so who knows? But
Well, I don't know why they still had us in the hunt after that loss. I'm like, in the hunt?
Oh, that's awesome.
For what?
Yeah. The toilet bowl prize.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh. And then Tom and I talked a little bit, too, about trading off the Challenger for a Durango.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I saw somebody made a comment or something and showed a picture of Jordan. Looked like he was mad or something, and you guys were at a dealership?
Oh, yeah, we were at Fox Nagani. We traded off the Challenger and got a Durango RT. It's a nice vehicle. It's a minivan with four-wheel drive and a Hemi.
It's not a minivan. I would still
drive.
I would drive any Durango over a minivan. Any Durango.
But it's only because of the perception. It's an SUV, not a minivan.
Yeah.
But it's a minivan.
Has it got a cool engine?
Yeah, it's got the 5.7 Hemi.
Right.
So, I don't know. You know what I thought would be cool one time?
What?
Especially if you come up here to do the podcast from in one of my vehicles. Well, the Durango would be now, but to do the podcast from inside the Durango as we drive around. That'd be fun.
It'd be fun.
The open intox laws kick in if you're podcasting.
I don't know. Is that only if you're the driver? In that case, Will, in these podcasts, I always say, sorry, Mom, because she listens.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen next year. Now, I'm a little confused at all the decision making over the course of this year. Yeah. I thought that we were going to keep. You look at the guys that we lost. And we talked about this a little bit before, but with Eric Ebron, and he was steadily getting better. There was no telling that he was going to be as good as he is.
Right.
He was steadily getting better. And then you look at Anthony Zettel. All he does is make plays. Right. And you wonder, how could you not see that in that guy? So I don't know where it's going. Are we gonna pay Ziggy Ansah the $17 million and then re-sign him again because it looks stupid if we kept him all year long?
I don't see how we keep him at that.
Yeah, I don't know, but
that salary.
We should already let him go.
Yeah.
What was the point in having him on the roster anyways? It's done.
Right. When you traded off Golden Tate, you said, I'm done with this season.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
That's basically your give up.
Yeah. And the team kind of gave up. You could see it. After that game, the team they played very lethargic. They just weren't into it. They didn't
completely different team.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very little emotion. Yeah, and I seen, Stafford didn't have a great game against Chicago. It was pretty bad, but I don't blame him. Their receiving core sucks. He
Well,
was
and
just
I
trying to make plays.
I ask a question though: Is there a danger that there's a point where Stafford gives up on Detroit?
Oh yeah, I think it's very realistic because you look, the way that they treat quarterbacks, he's probably got a good 8 years left, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe 8 years, and he's not going to want to just stay for the money in Detroit. He's too good. He can go play for the Baltimore Ravens.
What
He can
about the
go play
Washington
for
Redskins?
what's
See, they
that?
said that Alex Smith's career is likely over.
Yeah, I seen that.
Really?
Yep.
I had to watch that play like 3 times.
Oh, it's horrible. That's just
Yeah,
horrible.
and then I seen Theismann was mouthing the words. That was
Yeah.
just like mine.
Yep.
Or that's what happened to me, something like that.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
it was. That's god awful.
And he was a good quarterback. I thought Alex
Oh, he's
Smith
very
was
good.
yeah. Didn't turn the ball over very much at all, ever.
I think San Francisco made a huge mistake when they went to Kaepernick from him. He
Yeah,
was better.
they did.
Better quarterback. And he's proven that over his career, so that's not just me saying it. The ball don't
Well,
lie.
Where the heck do these guys like Patrick Mahomes come from?
I don't know. Where did Aaron Rodgers come
and then
from? He wasn't great in
I
college.
forget his name, but the Rams quarterback.
Goff.
Yeah,
Oh.
Jared Goff. You have him on. You drafted him #1, and then you didn't play him all year, and then all of a sudden he comes in, like he's like a madman, like he's young Tom Brady or something. I don't. I mean, it's awesome to see these guys with this level of talent just come out of nowhere, because that's what
they
Mahomes.
are really talented
I didn't
guys,
think.
but they also have great teams around them.
Yeah, they do.
And I think Trubisky, his play is affected to a certain extent to that, in that now he has one of the best defenses in the NFL and he has a great running game. So he plays. I think they play better. They play looser. You know what I mean? Knowing that they have a strong running game, knowing that the defense will cover them if they make a mistake. I don't know. I think they play better that way. Who wouldn't, right?
Oh,
Now you're back. That's a Skype hiccup.
yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Think of the. What do you think of it? You like it?
What? The
Your
Durango?
car? Yeah.
Yeah, so far it's really nice. I mean, it has all the same options that the Challenger had, so that's nice. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't driven it enough yet to like really get a sense of it, but it seems really nice so far.
That's nice of you.
I think we'll have a good time with it. I hope.
Well, there's one vehicle I was trying to load it onto Muscle and Speed. I was trying to figure out how to post it under Muscle and Speed.
Yeah.
Marauder. You guys ever hear that?
The what?
The Marauder?
Mercury Marauder?
No. It's just the Marauder. It was supposed to be in competition with the Hummer, the military Hummer. Except, I mean, more like a Marauder is. And it's a 2-seater, and it's got the you'd have to look at it. But I watched a whole on this vehicle. This is one of the coolest vehicles. It runs about $270,000.
Holy
And
crap.
it's a foreign company that made it, but it's heavily armored. I mean, I watched a guy. He took a brick of C4 and stuck it underneath the middle of the vehicle, it off, and then he got in the truck and it started up.
Jeez.
I told Slen, end of the world vehicle. That's one that if I had the means to have one.
Right. Yeah, that's nuts. No, I didn't know anything about. I've never heard of it. Honestly, I don't know. Have to look.
Get up.
Yeah, you guys can post whatever you want on Muscle and Speed. You both have the ability.
Okay.
Do whatever you want. Basically, anything we talk about on here would be fair game for the page. But yeah, and then we were talking, of course, about the Michigan game.
Oh man, I shut it off because I knew it was going. I was watching. I was into it for about the quarter and a half, and then I seen that they just do anything. They couldn't get the ball out on him. He was getting sacked. He was pressured every time he dropped back.
Yep.
Pretty pitiful. So where'd that number one ranked defense go? What happened with that?
It didn't show up to that game.
Shot carry.
Think of that.
Gas monkey.
Tequila.
Oh
Some
no.
good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, some lady came into the store one time when I was working on it, and she asked me if we had good tequila, and I kind of looked, tell she was really wealthy or well off, and I told her, I was like, we got some over there, and she kind of looked at me and she was like, that tastes like crap. I'm talking about, I can't remember what she said, but she was trying to explain to me how it was really made. You know, when it's 100%. I'm like, I don't know. I have no freaking clue.
Yeah. It's tequila.
It's tequila.
None of it tastes good.
Yeah, I'm trying some brandy. I haven't had some in a while.
Go.
Tommy's into the Blue Moon.
What's a Blue Moon?
Beer.
Beer.
Good beer.
That's that dark.
No.
No?
It's a standard beer.
Yeah.
What
Never
is it?
had.
Is it 6%?
It's a little heavier. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's a bit heavier.
Yeah.
A little stout.
It's really crisp tasting, though. It's really good. I guess that's how I would describe it. It's really crisp. I like it. We had it down in Milwaukee.
They keep on coming out with flavored beer. Big deal. You know, I thought people liked beer because it had a specific taste to it. You know, and I know a beer had, you know, a few different brands, and I've had Guinness with you. I thought Guinness was probably one of the better ones I had, but I also like Corona and Lime.
Yeah. Can't go wrong there.
Oh.
Yeah. Beer for breakfast. Beer all day. No, I don't know. I'm not incredibly picky when it comes to beer. You know, I have my favorites, but in all honesty, I like most beers I try, so it's not like you know, I'm turned off by any of it.
Never.
Never. Dude, what was that stuff that Wanda brought over in the 40?
Oh, Camo Triple X.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Sounds
that.
I think it was like 14% or something like that, but it was horrible. Just horrible.
Oh, man.
I think they siphoned that out of a mop bucket.
Oh, what did he say on Cocktail? What did Brian Brown say on Cocktail? Beer, either drink or be gone. Because he was talking about shots.
Yeah. I don't know. And then we were talking a little bit about the Packers' loss to the Vikings, and they showed a stat line after the game that Aaron Rodgers is 0-37 for fourth quarter comebacks against winning teams for his career.
Yeah, well, you know, this is a controversial thing that I go into about Aaron Rodgers, and I can't remember if we talked about this before, but I think he got into Brett Favre's team, and that's where he got Super Bowls. It wasn't Aaron Rodgers' team. He came to play for Brett Favre's team. They already had a built-up defense. I think Aaron Rodgers is back, but as far as mentioning him as one of the all-time greats, I don't think so. Don't see it. I mean, show me how many Super Bowls he won compared to Tom Brady or Peyton Manning.
You know what I think, though? I do think that the Packers have not done a good job of building teams. You know, you're right. He came into a team that was largely Brett Favre's team, but they had added Tony Siragusa, they had added Charles Woodson, they had Donald Driver, they had what was the name of that running back they had that was actually really good around that time?
Ryan. It was Ryan Grant. Was it
Yeah.
Ryan Grant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not him. That's the GM. You know, and then the GM made a statement after they won that Super Bowl that they were gonna draft their talent and cultivate talent, and not try to spend a lot of money in free agency. And they've never won again.
Nope. So I don't, you know, I hear him talk all the time. I don't hear him say like this team has never really been that great, because if they were, they would have a couple more Super Bowl rings.
Right.
They're not really that great.
It's skewed for us, though, because we're Lions fans living, well, we are up in the UP. You know, you have so many Packer fans around here, and as much as they say that it's the Lions' Super Bowl to beat the Packers, they kind of live off the fact that the Packers have been able to beat the Lions regularly for the past 10, 15 years. You know, since Aaron Rodgers has been there. Of course, they were doing well, of course, when they had Brett Favre as well, but I was just speaking specifically to Aaron Rodgers' career. There's a lot of Packers fans that kind of lived on that too. You know, they love to throw that in your face that Detroit, you know, hasn't done well until recently. If you actually look the past 3 years, Detroit has kind of had their number.
Yeah.
Hate to say it, but
yeah.
you know, the results are the results. You know, and there's a good chance that Detroit will beat them out this year too. They finished ahead of Green Bay last year. I think they might this year as well. Again, I think they beat Buffalo and the Cardinals, and then there's a decent chance they could beat Green Bay at the end of the year, and that might put them ahead of them.
Yeah, and then sometimes, well, of course, I don't know. I guess I'll have to see how the next two games go. I mean, I given the loss to the Rams, but with the talent loss that we've had, we might lose every single rest of the game the rest of the year.
We might.
I mean, because I think Romo, because he did the Thanksgiving game, I think he was right, though, when he said the Lions don't have a single wide receiver threat that can get open on his own.
No. I think Galladay will be there someday, and he's so big and he's so, you know, naturally gifted. He just needs a little time. You know, he's not Calvin Johnson, but he is very good.
Very good.
Or he will be. But you're right, and, you know, and I'm one of those people who wanted to see Ebron go, because I was tired of watching him drop the damn ball every time it was important that he make a catch. And then getting a first down when you're down by 20 and he was dancing down the sideline. I was really sick of seeing that. So, you know, I was one of the ones that was pretty happy to see him go.
I don't know. I thought, you know, if you're going to let Ebron go, you can't pick up somebody like Luke Wilson. For whatever reason, you know, I don't understand they might as well have just spent the money somewhere else, because what are we going to do with him for the next 2 years? He obviously sucks.
Well, right. And I think one of the problems you saw coming in was they laid out a lot of money to keep Zeke, and that was a mistake, obviously.
Yeah. But we didn't pay Golden Tate. He wanted to stay, you know, he wanted a contract at the beginning of the year, how he wanted to stay with Detroit, and it was an insult.
Right.
I took it as an insult.
Right.
Not to even work up a decent contract at the beginning of the year.
So I'm going to ask you the same question. Tommy and I have already talked about this, of course, but was it worth getting a third-round pick to throw away the rest of the season?
No.
I don't think so.
Because Bowman's not a very, I mean, he's supposed to be a genius at drafting good talent, but I haven't seen it yet. I think Frank Ragnow is probably the best player we've drafted in a couple of years, but we've lost. I it yet. Tease DeBoer sucks. I don't know why. Lawson, he should have been dropped off the team.
How about Gerard Davis?
Not a middle linebacker. I don't think he's smart.
He tends to overrun plays a lot.
Yeah, well, you know, and we talked about his speed. He's got great speed on the edge. Make him an outside linebacker. You know, he wants to stop the run. Obviously, he can't play the middle. He's overruns the play, or he waits too long.
Yeah.
You know, and he can't play the pass. He's not good at covering tight ends. So, you know, I don't know. I
Yeah.
thought he would be better.
So I have a
I
question,
thought,
guys. When was the last time the Lions sucked, the Pistons sucked, the Tigers sucked, and the Red Wings sucked?
Last year.
the Pistons really suck. I mean, I've been trying to keep up with them. They were like last time I checked.
They started out 5-0, and then I think they lost 6 in a row.
I was gonna say like somewhere in the early 2000s is when they all sucked at the same. Not early, because I know the Pistons were still making championship runs there for a little bit, but I mean like 2005, 2006. I know the Tigers went to the didn't they make it to the pennant?
2012.
Yeah, people forget that sometimes.
Yeah, they were contenders up until recently.
Yeah, till they got under and
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Till they sucked.
Down.
They were good till they sucked. Now they suck.
And the Lions have been decent sometimes, but mostly sucked. I still haven't seen. I mean, I thought that one good year we made the playoffs. I think we were 10-6.
So I have a question.
Yeah,
They let Caldwell coach for 2 years, or was it 3 years?
3 years.
So for 2 of those, he went 9-7, and he made the playoffs twice. And you fired him because that wasn't good enough. How much time are they going to give Matt Patricia?
Another year.
Just one more?
Here, that's it. I can't, you know, because of Stafford. I give him 1 year. You can't fence together with Matthew Stafford and all these higher first round picks, and then trading away players. Then you're gone.
Yeah. At the end of the season, do you fire Jim Bob Cooter?
Yep. I don't necessarily think it's all Bob's fault. I think that he a lot of the offensive play calls were because of they had Galladay and Jones Jr. and Golden Tate.
Right.
And now without him it looks like, but I still think he gets fired. I don't know, but I think he does.
Dude, do you think that he's had trouble incorporating Kerryon Johnson in the offense?
Yeah, I still don't think Detroit knows how to really run the ball.
Yeah.
I think Kerryon Johnson's a really good running back, but I think that for some reason they just don't know how to do it. Because you look at LeGarrette Blount all year long until the last game. All year long he couldn't run for nothing but 1.5 yards.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he gets 15 carries and he's got 87 yards and 2 touchdowns. Well, why is he not putting forth the same? Gets the ball in those, or does he need to have 15 carries a game? Then you know, how do you start Kerryon Johnson over?
I don't know. I think Kerryon's their best back.
Yeah.
He's like Amir Abdullah, but he doesn't fumble it constantly.
Yeah, and it's weird because I know he's not of a running back, but he seems lanky, long. He doesn't have that. Like, my favorite running back, you know, if it was Detroit and I was trading up in the draft, you know, for a running back, I'm trading up to get the best, and that was Saquon Barkley.
Right.
It's like Barry Sanders backwards. You know, he's got the SB instead of the BS, but that was the best running. And he's got Barry Sanders' legs. He's got those big, thick thighs, and he can jump over people, and he's got that 90-some speed where he hits that hole and he's gone. If you were going to trade for a running back because you were desperate for a great running game, then that's where you go.
But you know what? What do you guys think? I mean, Kerryon's yards per carry are massive, but he never has that many carries. And Tommy and I talked about that early in the season. He'd finish a game with 60 yards with like 6 yards a carry on like 10 carries. And you're like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, if he's averaging, does he get winded that quickly that you have to put in LeGarrette Blount or Theo Riddick? I don't understand.
Not a chance of that. Not at that level. He's not exhausted.
But that's why you rotating running backs like that.
I don't know. I don't know why you'd want both of them. Because who's their they actually have a fullback on the roster.
Yeah, Bodden, but he tore his ACL, MCL in tryouts or something. Camp. They
No, who's
drafted
the
him
other
high
one?
for a
Is
fullback.
his name Mason? I thought they had a fullback on the roster right now.
I don't know. They
Oh.
might. I know that we re-signed Zach Zenner. I seen that, but I didn't see a fullback line up.
And why the hell did we pick up Ellington and put him in the slot? Why isn't Theo Riddick in the slot the entire game?
I don't know.
Because
You know,
Ellington runs wrong routes. He drops the ball a lot. I mean, he makes some good plays too, but, sun shines on a dog's ass some days. If you play him the whole game, he's going to make some good plays.
I don't understand. I thought that was their plan, was to take and put him as a slot receiver. But
They should do.
That's what they should have done. Of course, we should have lost Marvin Jones Jr., but what do you do?
I don't know. Watch golf.
Yeah.
There is
Fall
no
asleep
Detroit
in the
team that can
chair.
let me down in golf.
Yeah.
Fall asleep in the chair.
I'm excited for the experience, though, man. I'm excited. I've never been to Ford Field, and to be able to go down there and see Stafford play before he decides that he doesn't want to play for us anymore.
Where he goes to the Redskins next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, you want to talk about... Here's the thing about that almost... It cracks me up a little bit, okay? You have... you have Ebron leave and go to the Colts, and he has a Pro Bowl year, right? And everyone's like, oh my God, Ebron's actually awesome, right?
Yeah.
If Stafford goes to a team like the Washington Redskins and he puts up 5,000 yards and 35 touchdowns, because he probably will,
Because he probably would.
then what's everyone going to say?
They'll start talking about him different. It gets talked bad about by our fans because our fans are whiners. A lot of them are. They whine a lot.
Tired of watching Detroit lose.
Yeah.
I get it.
He is, but you pick and choose your teams, and we were born in Michigan, so here we are.
Yeah.
Die hard.
So let's say this. All right, Tommy. Detroit's essentially out of it. Who's your runner-up team that you watch to enjoy good football?
Patriots.
Patriots?
Yep.
What about you, Will? If you're a football fan, you ain't hanging your hat on Detroit. Who else do you watch?
I like to watch the Patriots play. But if I'd say that I enjoy watching the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's the Steelers.
Yeah, that's a good pick too.
They're another team with a quarterback that doesn't get as much love as he probably should. Ben Roethlisberger is a hell of a quarterback. And he's a little bit unconventional compared to some of the other guys, but top three quarterbacks this year is who is it? It's the Mahomes, Roethlisberger, and Matt Ryan. Top passing leaders this year.
Wow.
Really?
Yep.
The Falcons suck.
Yep.
It fell off.
And Mahomes has thrown for 34 touchdowns so far.
Yeah.
What does that feel like, huh? Have a quarterback on your team do that. Guess what I just figured out, guys?
We seen it come to it one time, and I can't remember what year that was. What year Stafford threw 40 touchdowns? That was early on. That was like his fifth season.
Yeah.
Those
were Calvin Johnson prime years there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was going to say, whenever Calvin was catching them.
Yeah.
Well, and they had no running game. I mean, there were games when he was throwing 50 passes a game.
Yep.
That's insane.
He should be, I don't know. I think that I can't remember who the offensive coordinator was when he was throwing that much. But the biggest mistake that they've made this year is not letting own offense.
Maybe we should bring back Marty Mornwig as offensive coordinator.
No.
The wig.
No, if I had my choice, my dream for the Lions is still Cocaine Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd still bring Wayne Fontes as the best coach we've seen.
Wayne Fontes. Maybe you were a little young then, Will. I remember Wayne Fontes.
Man,
and he
you
sucked.
gotta remember 1991, he was our coach.
I know, but he had name the All-Stars on that team. 1991.
Herman Moore, Brett Johnny Morton, Barry Sanders. We had Kevin Glover, Mike Compton, offensive lineman.
Henry Thomas, Lomas Brown.
Yeah, Robert Fortier.
Yeah, that team was stacked.
I know. Our Super Bowl ring. We didn't have a quarterback. We have Eric Kramer, and who was that other freaking piece of crap second string quarterback? That's
you
all
just named every quarterback in Detroit Lions football history.
Yeah, huge mistakes. Huge.
Hey, I got a question for both of you. Is Charlie Batch the John Sally of the NFL?
Charlie Batch.
Cool, because he went to Pittsburgh and won 2 rings as a backup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of Detroit players that go to other teams and win bowls.
Doesn't John Sally have 7 championship rings?
Yeah.
Because he played with Detroit and got 2, then he played with the Bulls and got a bunch more, and then he played with the Lakers and got some more.
Yeah.
Greedy bastard.
Good for him.
Yeah. So that's what I said. Is Charlie Batch the John Sally of the NFL?
Yeah, you could say that. Playing time in those latter years.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they said they got quality games out of him.
He was really... Charlie Batch was.
Yeah.
If he'd have never led with his head, he might have made some plays for Detroit. But that.
Do you think he has nightmares about John Randall now, barking at him?
Before he broke his back.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, those days, hey?
But at least that Stafford hasn't gone down with a big injury.
No.
Can say that. He keeps on every single game. He keeps on going in there.
So now that you have Carry on
several times,
and you have some young guys on the team that are pretty darn good, and Stafford being 31, do you even entertain the thought of trading him off?
No. We're not going to see another quarterback like him.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of when he goes, what it's going to look like then.
Can't we pull a Herschel Walker though? When the Cowboys traded Herschel Walker to the Vikings and got like 6 draft picks, and they got like Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and like everybody, Michael Irvin. Maybe it's worth a try. I don't know.
I don't know. I hate to see a rebuilding Lions Stafford in his 30s though. That sounds stupid.
Well, the offensive line has got to get better, or things are going to get bad in a hurry.
Yeah.
Stafford has been the most hit quarterback in the NFL like the past several seasons. I mean, he's taken sacks on a rate that, most people don't survive in the NFL.
He's like a target out there. Because with Kerryon Johnson, I think it would be a lot better for him. I mean, we could see a huge turnaround next year. Huge. It could, it could be a big year for Detroit next year if they set that team up right. Because a guy like Kerryon, obviously he's as good as Theo Riddick catching the ball out of the backfield.
Right.
So there's nothing big about Theo Riddick, that we'd have to keep him. But
can we move Theo into the slot permanently?
Well, running game where our running back gets the ball 25 times a game, at least, at the minimum.
Is he that good, you think?
I think he's that good.
Hmm.
I think you could run him that much, because if you did, and he was averaging 5 yards a carry or even 4.5 yards a carry, then Stafford's going to be able to throw the ball deep down.
Right.
And that's something he can do well when hit and knock down every 3 plays.
So I have another question. If Marvin Jones comes back and they get another receiver, or even if they keep Ellington, do you move Galladay into the slot? Because I'll tell you what I noticed about him. He's not very fast. He's big, but he's not fast.
I wouldn't move him into the slot just because of that. Because he's tall and he's not that fast, I would keep him on the outside.
Keyshawn Johnson wasn't incredibly fast, but he was huge, and he used his big body in the slot to catch a lot of balls over the middle. Maybe that's what Galladay would be good at.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Just say, I think that they need to look and see all these premier teams and the quarterbacks as they add an elite tight end.
Yeah.
Almost every single one of them's got one.
This is what you do. When you go down for the Rams game, pick up a double quarter pounder. Put it in a bag with a supersized fries. I say that because Matt Patricia looks like he might enjoy that. Use that to talk to him. That's your icebreaker. And while he's enjoying his double quarter pounder and supersized fries,
take it down the line.
Tell him what we're thinking here. What do you think, man?
I did want to make a big poster sign saying that's first game.
Yeah.
I wanted to try and get it for a second.
Yeah. It might happen. Who knows?
We'll be watching.
The last game I went to was 1996. It was a preseason game, and it was Detroit versus the Saints. So I got to see Barry Sanders play, but they lost. Because if you remember, 96 was when they really started to decline.
What was the ultimate game, though, that we missed?
Oh, we had Thanksgiving tickets. I still have those tickets.
Houston Oilers and the Detroit Lions. We would have seen Warren Moon, Barry Sanders. I can't remember the big tight end we had, number 8. He was an old dude at that time. But, I mean, all those guys.
Yeah. And Spielman.
Spielman.
To me, he's one of the people who aren't talked about enough as a great Lions football player.
Linebacker, period. He could have played middle linebacker anywhere. Smart, fast, and hit hard.
Yep. A true football player. Old school.
Old school style.
Yeah. Well, cripe, guys, this is Muscle and Speeds podcast, and all we did was talk about how shitty the Lions are. Should we throw anything else in there, or do you think this is good?
No, I'm up for any conversation. I thought we did movies too, and cars. We just haven't said too much about them.
Yeah. Well, it's wintertime, so the only thing I can say is that the Challenger's gone, the Cutlass is in the garage, and I got nothing. I'm hoping to go see Creed 2 this weekend, maybe. I want to see Rocky and Drago face off one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that's Hollywood magic, because in real life, there's no way in hell Sylvester Stallone could win any fight at any time, anywhere, against Dolph Lundgren. That would have been over really fast. And there would have been a greasy little Italian man on the ground.
A fight I would have liked to see, though, is Hogan and Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph would kick his ass.
Oh, I don't know.
Dolph, Dolph's a big cheesy action movie star guy, right?
Genius.
But yeah, he's a certified genius. He got accepted into MIT. He's a Rhodes Scholar. He speaks 6 languages. And At one point, he was a heavyweight Shotokan, which is the full contact karate, not the point crap, but full contact fighting. He was the Shotokan champion in Europe.
Wasn't he a decathlete too?
Yes.
Did he do? Yeah, he did all those different, where all in a row, the riding bike and swimming and all
So
that crap.
I love Hulk Hogan, but Dolph would have lit his ass up,
24-inch python.
especially with his bad back. Maybe Hogan could win in a bull rush. Maybe. Because he's just so big.
Yeah.
Well, that was my 4th shot of tequila. And it's time for me to end this.
Brother.
Well, yeah. The lines suck, and I think we established that.
But there's things to look forward to. I think we've got if they make good decisions, we got things to look forward to.
I hope so.
They're as smart as it's supposed to be.
Optimism.
What do you think, man?
I like Will's optimism.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
They're my team, man. They're going down with the ship.
Ugh.
Right on,
Thanksgiving. Can I be brutally honest with what I actually did? I sat in the dining room and I talked to Joe Eckerberg, who's a friend. I talked to him the entire time and I didn't watch 1 second of that game. I watched the highlights later.
Well, you didn't miss much. I watched the whole freaking game because it was my Thanksgiving Day game. I get really into it. I mean, some I guess because I don't get to watch games with people very much. I'm like on the edge of my seat when Detroit scores a touchdown. I'm clapping my hands and yelling, pumping my fist.
Are you like, this is their moment every time?
Yeah.
How was it for you, man? What did you do? Did you watch the whole thing at your parents'?
We did the whole thing.
Did it make you sad?
We expected it.
That's tough. All right, fellas. That's all I got.
Guys. Yeah.
Hopefully we can talk about a win, or maybe Michigan will look better, or maybe a big giant meteor will crash into all of us and we don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're out of here.
All right.